T is a teammate that she's someone that will always get you fired up. Like, no matter what drill you're doing, you're always gonna like give it your hardest, just because she's always at like a level 10 all the time. She's really passionate like about everything she does, so that also carries over into her being a teammate. She is like caring. She's always gonna make sure you're okay, but she's always gonna push you like to do your best. So
to me, T is the kind of teammate who always brings the intensity, and she's always working like 110%. So when she gets going, everyone else like you can't avoid her intensity. It's just like if something gets her going, like everyone else is gonna go too. So like she's the kind of person who makes everyone work harder, because she's like her intensity makes everyone want to do the same thing.
T as a teammate, she's probably the most passionate person I've ever met when it comes to anything in life, and especially basketball. She's very, she gives heart in everything she does, and in drills and practices and games, she's always pushing others to work just as hard as she is.
T is one of the most passionate teammates I've ever had. She cares, but like she just shows it on the court, like on how much she like actually loves the sport of basketball.
Well, she's a great leader in how passionate she is. So she just brings such an energy every day to practice, and she kind of leads by example with how hard she works, both in practice, in the weight room, everywhere she's at. She leads by example because she's so passionate about basketball.
T is really unique because she's such a like strong personality, really passionate with everything she does. But that strong personality, she's also really good at like admitting when she's wrong, which you don't get from a lot of people. And she does a really good job at laughing at herself, which I think has benefited our team. Like, we laugh at her all the time, and it makes like most of our time spent together even more fun.
T's very unique, just again because of her like intensity, and she works hard, and she just has like that kind of attitude, like where she's gonna go get it. So she's really determined, and she goes and gets what she wants. And there's not a lot of people who have that kind of determination like she does.
I think that makes her unique is she's very passionate and about everything, not just basketball, and she's always pushing us to do our best as well.
She's a very unique player. I've never had a teammate that's been that passionate about the sport of basketball. So like, that's really cool to be on a team with her, that like her passion spreads throughout the team, and like you could ask everyone and everyone would say that.
I would say T has been my best friend here on the team. We've been roommates since my freshman year. And she's had a lot of impacts on me. She's taught me a lot. I think she's made me a lot more honest and passionate. Like, she has taught me that you shouldn't be ashamed to like show when you're passionate about something. And I think that's like the best way to describe her.
T's had a really big impact on my career here so far at Lake State, and I think on the court I know like she's a really talented player, so I've got to be playing to that level, and like again, like her intensity she has got great intensity, so I have to be just as intense, and I have to be working hard. And then off the court, I think she's always got everyone's back, so she is a great leader on the court, like making everyone work hard, and off the court she's always there for anyone and will always talk to someone if they have any problems.
Impact T has had on me, again, is just like her passion for everything. Like on the court, like I always hated not being on her team, because you knew she was gonna be giving everything she has to win whatever drill it is.
Her impact has definitely been just like her passion for the sport. It's made me more passionate. It's made me want to be the best teammate and player that I can be for her.
She's had a huge impact on our program. You know, we were really changing the culture this year, and her dedication to where we were trying to go and working so hard for us, and setting the tone for how hard we were going to work and changing that culture has left a huge impact.
I think something that I think everyone can learn from T is just to like show your competitiveness. She's someone that like skill aside, like she works really hard, and you can tell how much heart she has for the sport, and that's like something you can't teach to anyone, and that makes her like such a great player. So I just think if we have more players that like have the amount of heart that she does, then our program will be in a good spot.
I think the one thing I'll take away from T is that I have to be working hard all the time, because I remember when T got injured and it was a really hard time for her, and she wanted to be playing, and I just think like I know how much T loves basketball and how like determined she is. So the thing that I take away is I have to be excited about being playing basketball, and I have to I can't take it for granted, because she shows me that she's working here, working hard, and she's really excited and happy to be here. So I have to be too.
One thing I'll take away from T is her heart, and I hope to work just as hard as she does and just give everything I have for what I have left.
Just like her hard work and dedication to the sport, she loves the sport so much, and that energy is transferable.
There's a lot of good memories about T, but I think my favorite, when I first met T, I was a freshman and she was a sophomore, and she came in thinking she was going to have her own room, and I was a surprise, so I was her roommate. And so I met her, freshman, and I meet this 6'1", 6'2" tall girl, and I'm like, oh, hi, I'm your roommate. And she looks at me, she's like, I know. And that was it. No hello, that was it. So I was so nervous for the first month. I didn't want to touch any of her stuff. I was tiptoeing around my room, and I ended up getting sick, and I had to be on medicine, pain medicine, and I had a really hard time that first month, and she would set alarms on her phone for when I had to take my medicine. And I think that was when I first realized, okay, I don't need to be afraid of her, first of all. And second, this girl is such a good friend. She's a friend for life, for sure.
Well, I was a freshman, and I just got here, and we were playing open gym, just scrimmaging, and T and Nat got in a really big fight, and it was just my first time being here, and they were yelling and screaming at each other, and I was just oh no, this is how they are. And so I was kind of scared of her at first, but it just kind of made me, when I first saw them fighting, I was wow, they were really intense. I've got to be working just as hard as them, and I have to be at this level of intensity.
One of my favorite memories of T is this past summer. I was up in the Sioux for my birthday, and she was here as well, and it was just us two, and she actually cooked dinner for me. And for those of you who know T, she doesn't cook a lot, and so it was a little bit of a shock, but it was actually really good, and I'm really thankful that she did that for me.
Being a freshman, it's hard, and on one of our first road trips, she was my roommate, and it was just really cool to see a different side of her that I hadn't seen before. She was very passionate, but she also has that side of where she's really dedicated to school, and she wants to be the best person she can be as well.
T, thanks for being the best roommate. I'm glad that we never killed each other, and thanks for pushing me to compete and everything I do on and off the court. You're the best. Love you.
Well, T, I'm gonna miss you a lot. I wish I had another year with you, because I just love being around you. You're so much fun, and you just bring such a fun atmosphere, and you work really hard on the court, and we're really gonna miss you this next year.
T, I love you. I'm gonna miss hanging out with you and having those talks about life.
I love you, T. I wish I could have more years with you. I know you're gonna do great though, and I'm really excited to see what the future has in store for you.
T, thank you so much for being bought into everything we were doing and for all your hard work. You've really helped change this culture, and I wish you the best of luck going forward.